Well, I'm sure all 6 of you are sitting there saying, Nico, where have you been for the past 2 weeks? Well, I'm here to tell you, all 6 of you are probably right. I'm sure you all guessed it. I went to Coachella. No, obviously I went to Disney World as the first time as an adult. Let me tell you, I had the best time ever. It was an amazing time, an amazing experience. Definitely going again very soon, and I can't wait for that. So, in the spirit of doing all that, let me rank the top 10 rides. This isn't my top 10 ranking. I just found like a good video. I figured it'd be fun to do like a top, give my opinion, and like I literally just got back. So give my thoughts, give my opinions on the rides and stuff, and how is it?
Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. So here's a fact for you. You don't have to ride every single ride in Disney World in order to get your money's worth, and depending on your trip, it might be downright impossible to achieve anyways. So if you're trying to pick and choose what rides to prioritize next year, I've got a good top 10 mix here for you with dark rides, coasters, and a few surprise entries that you might not be expecting to see here either. Okay, number 1 on our list for 2024, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's not open yet, but it will be. And
Okay, so this ride right here, Tiana's Bayou, literally, we left like 2 days before it opened. So we couldn't ride it. This is from 6 months ago, so it's gonna be like, oh, it's not open yet, yada yada yada. When we got there, it was literally like 2 more days and it would have been open and we would have been able to go on it. So I can't even give my opinion on this one. If you're there and if you're like going anytime soon, hit this up because I know that one's gonna be fun.
They're gonna be popping over in Frontierland. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the new theme for the classic Magic Kingdom log flume ride, which used to be Splash Mountain before it closed this past January. During the course of the ride, you're gonna travel through the bayous of Louisiana to help Tiana with her newest endeavor, Tiana's Foods, while also preparing for the Mardi Gras season. So get ready for jazzy music, and a lot of it. Currently, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is slated to open by the end of 2024, but that's pretty much all we know about its release date so far. What I will say is that before you plan your entire 2024 trip around Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you'll want to wait for more details regarding its release, because you're not going to want to plan an entire trip for Tiana's ride and then wind up missing it by a few weeks or even days. We're staying in Magic Kingdom for the next one, Tron Light Cycle Run.
Suck my fucking dick, bro. This fucking ride, bro. This ride, 10 out of 10. So fun. I highly recommend it. This comes from somebody, like, I forgot to say this in the beginning. I am somebody who doesn't enjoy roller coasters. I don't like drops. I don't like upside down. I hate that shit. Don't even recommend a ride like that to me. Even though Tiana Bayou, that one is like a vertical drop. It's like a little one. But Tron, 10 out of 10. Let me hear what you have to say about it.
Don't let Tiana's Bayou Adventure distract you from the other new ride in Magic Kingdom, the one that just opened this past April inside Tomorrowland. Tron Light Cycle Run is a high-speed coaster that launches you into the grid for a race through a dark computerized world, reaching speeds of up to 59 miles per hour. But what makes this one really unique is the fact that you'll board it like you would a bike. These light cycles require riders to straddle the seat and lean forward.
You
When
literally
you pull out
are
on the
like
handlebars
this.
in front of you, the back of the seat kind of goes against your back, and small metal restraints will come down behind your legs. The ride seating format really does make it feel like you're blasting into the digital realm on your very own light cycle. While the seats aren't miserably uncomfortable or anything, not all guests are going to want or be able to ride on these light cycles.
She's talking about fat people.
However, Disney did plan ahead and has included adaptable seats onto the ride as well, where you sit up with a lap bar like a standard roller coaster. To request an adaptive seat, speak with a cast member toward the front of the ride. They'll take you off to the side before boarding so you can wait for the next train with the adaptive seating available. Now, quick reminder, this ride is actually much better at night because of the lighting in the canopy outside. So I would say if you can ride it at night, you should. Moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Now,
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, easily the best ride out of all the parks. It's between that and another one that I'm sure will come up. This ride is fucking insane. Again, I don't like roller coasters. This is a roller coaster, but it is the smoothest ride that I've ever experienced. The ride itself is themed perfectly, like, you can get one of 6 songs that play, so it's like not the same thing every time. If you have the chance or the opportunity to go on this ride, take it. It is a 10 out of 10 out of 10, bro. Like, this fucking ride is amazing.
a lot of you would probably think that this ride should be number 1, and I kind of agree. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is over in Epcot, and Epcot's been keeping us on our toes with all sorts of new stuff lately. One of our favorite things to come out of the Epcot transformation, probably my favorite thing to come out of the Epcot transformation, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This ride opened in Epcot's World Discovery back in May 2022, and it's one of the longest indoor coasters ever built. This ride takes you on an intergalactic journey with the Guardians of the Galaxy crew and features thrilling coaster elements like a backwards launch, 360-degree spins, and a very, very, very good soundtrack. No, really, the soundtrack's one of the best parts about this ride because it's completely random. So you have the potential of singing along to one of 6 songs plucked fresh out of the 1980s during the course of your adventure, which I absolutely love.
Bro.
Even though this ride has been around for well over a year, it's still a super popular one. So Epcot's continuing to use a virtual queue system for it. Now that could potentially change in 2024, but for now, just be prepared to get a boarding group number for Cosmic Rewind or bypass that free virtual queue altogether with the purchase of an individual lightning lane. That price usually ranges around $14 to $17 per person. Now, here's a big cautionary tale. While not everyone is going to feel motion sickness on this ride, because that spinning movement I mentioned earlier is more of a slow spin that'll help you see everything going on around you rather than a thrilling spin meant to set your tummy in a spiral.
I've heard that. I heard that they actually tweaked the ride. So when I went down, this is from 6 months ago again. When I went down, they actually tweaked it to not make people who are motion sickness as bad. So that shouldn't be that much of a factor for most people. But if you are like super motion sickness type, like, yeah, I would probably avoid it. But if you're not, definitely have to do that ride. 100%. I don't know what she's meaning by, I kind of agree. Bitch, suck my dick. That ride is the best ride in the parks. Besides maybe one other one. And I'm sure that'll be on here too.
So the next one we want to talk about is maybe a little surprise. It's Star Tours. Star Tours may not be part of the main Galaxy's Edge hoopla in Hollywood studios, but that doesn't mean you should skip it and head straight to Batuu, because ironically enough, Star Tours is actually going to be the most updated Star Wars attraction in 2024. Star Tours is a motion simulator experience over in Echo Lake where you'll board a space shuttle and travel the galaxy thanks to your pilot, C-3PO, as well as the magic of 3D. There are a variety of scenes that you could get across different Star Wars planets, and they're all randomized so the experience changes each time you ride. And we're not talking randomized like we did with Cosmic Rewind earlier, where you'll have the potential of getting 1 out of 6 options. There are literally hundreds of different ways your ride through could go, so you never know where you might end up next. Speaking of which, Star Tours is about to get even more scene possibilities starting next spring. While we don't know all the different scenes and characters that could be added to this ride, we do know Disney's planning on adding Ahsoka based around her Disney Plus series.
Alright, Star Tours. If you're a big Star Wars fan, that's an easy go. Like, you gotta do it. I'm not huge on Star Wars. Like, I never really watched any of the movies like that. I've never been like a geek about it. But I will say the area of the park that is like dedicated to Star Wars is unbelievable. Like, that shit is, I'm not a big Star Wars person, but I can respect everything about it. Like, that shit looks insane. So that's definitely something you have to go see. And then Star Tours, I give that an 8 out of 10 because I think it's really good. Maybe 7.5, 7.5. I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10. It's a great ride. It was just super short to me. Like, I literally got on. It was like, we got on, and then 40 seconds later, we were off. And I was like,
not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Well, hopefully that's not the case, because I sure do want to ride Dinosaur at least a dozen times over before things start changing in Dinoland USA. Well, I don't, personally. I hate this ride. It is very scary. But maybe you do. So during Destination D23 this year, we learned that the fate of Dinoland inside Disney's Animal Kingdom is looking bleak. Real bleak, as in Imagineers are getting ready to replace it as we speak bleak. And what they're more than likely replacing it with is a new Tropical Americas section, which will feature attractions and details from Encanto and Indiana Jones. Interesting mashup. So, what does this mean for our good friend Dinosaur? Well, there's a possibility that Indiana Jones will eventually be replacing this attraction, since the ride system used for Dinosaur is very similar to the Indiana Jones ride that already exists over in Disneyland. Now, Disney said that there's still a long way to go before these ideas start to take shape inside the park, so that does mean we've still got plenty of time, hopefully, to ride Dinosaur during 2024.
So another funny thing, dude, when I went, a lot of shit was changing. So Dinosaur, when I went, to my knowledge, I could be wrong about this, don't quote me, but I think Dinosaur is one of the last times you could ride it. Like, I think it was shutting down, like, shortly after we went. So we got on it, like, maybe not right before, but, like, I'm pretty sure Dinosaur is about to be closed. Which sucks because I went on it and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, honestly, I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I would say my complaint for it is that like half the time you have no idea what the is going on. But I really enjoyed that ride. Really fun. I recommend it. Although you're not going to be able to go on the ride anymore because it's getting closed down. So, tough shit.
Ooh, I love that this is on this particular list. We are going to talk Haunted Mansion. There's nothing like a classic dark ride aboard a doom buggy through the mansion
I got
filled
opinions
with
on
999 happy haunts, right? Okay, make that 1,000 haunts because it seems like another ghoulish specter has just volunteered to be part of this fan favorite Magic Kingdom attraction. If you've been to Disneyland or you've seen this year's Haunted Mansion film, you might be familiar with the Hatbox Ghost. This animatronic specter has developed quite the cult following with fans thanks to his ability to dematerialize his own head and, well, put it in a hat box. But the Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom has been Hatbox ghostless. Apparently there is a backstory for his absence here. According to Disney lore, he was one of the original haunts, but got the heck out of Dodge after the mansion was discovered by us foolish mortals. Way to go, humans. But apparently he got over his disgust towards us because at the end of November, the Hatbox Ghost made his way into Liberty Square and set up his afterlife residency by the Endless Hallway. So when you come to visit Magic Kingdom in 2024, expect to see one more ghoulish figure roaming the corridors of this classic Omnimover attraction.
Haunted Mansion was a lot of people like love that ride. It's like for some people it's their favorite ride. I don't understand how. Personally, it was like a 6 out of 10 for me. It was cool with some parts and like some of the shit was interesting. And I mean the ride itself was fun. It was just like a slow, like chillish ride. So like that's nice. Especially when you're like in the heat and stuff the whole time. But like as far as rides go, and then like you have Cosmic Rewind and like Tron and stuff compared to that, it was like a 6 out of 10. It was boring to me. I wasn't a big fan.
Next ride you're not going to want to miss in Disney World in 2024, Rise of the Resistance.
Fuck.
What can I say? Despite how moody Rise of the Resistance can be, it's still one of the most impressive
Just gonna say quick, I'll wait.
rides to hit the Disney scene to date. According to Disney, Rise of the Resistance is one of the most advanced and immersive experiences ever undertaken by Walt Disney Imagineering. The attraction features multiple levels, 4+ ride systems, and over 300 animatronic figures. And it's not just the ride that has all of this. The interactive stuff starts up inside the queue, making all the pre-shows just as much of a part of the story as the ride itself. Now, I hate that anytime I bring up this ride, I've got to tell you about the negative stuff too, but it's important for y'all to be aware of this ride's finicky personality because it can really squash your spirit if you're not expecting it. Because of the massive amount of technology that makes up this ride, we see it breaking down almost daily. Sometimes it goes down for just a few minutes, sometimes a few hours, and every so often it goes down the rest of the day.
Two things. One, I didn't get to ride this ride, unfortunately. The first day we got there was that was our first day there, and we were so tired, and we had no like knowledge on how to use the Genie Plus thing, the lightning lane, and like all that stuff. So we pulled up and we missed it and we didn't get to do it. But even if we knew, that ride got closed down for like the majority of the day while we were there anyway. It is unfortunate how much it closes, but I really hope next time I go down we can go on it.
And Test Track, it's time to put that pedal to the metal before we got to put that pedal away for a while. Test Track in its current form is a high-speed Epcot ride that gives you the ability to create your own sim vehicle and test it out on a futuristic Tron-looking track. And while Test Track is still super popular in Epcot, often pushing wait times that range around 45 to 60 plus minutes, it's going to be shutting down for a good long while as it undergoes a major retheme again. Now, Disney hasn't given us too many details regarding this reimagining, but we do know they've stated during the Destination D23 convention that Disney wants to take inspiration from Epcot's old World of Motion attraction, which used to be located where Test Track now stands. So, will this reimagining happen at the beginning of 2024, the middle, the end? Will it even happen at all in 2024? We are not sure, but we'll definitely keep you in the loop and let you know when we hear more about it. In the meantime, be sure to hop on this road racer for one last victory lap before these changes start to take place.
So I actually never heard of that. Don't know what that is. But makes sense because it was probably closed down when I went down because they're retheming it. So can't say too much about that one.
Number 9 on our list is Flight of Passage. This is by far and away the most popular
I'm gonna let her speak. But baby, talk about that real quick.
Ride in
Let
all
me
of
hear about it.
Disney's Animal Kingdom, and that's
Mm-hmm.
saying something because Animal Kingdom's got some really cool rides.
Love
It
Animal
could
Kingdom.
also be argued that it's the most popular ride in Disney World
Yeah.
because it usually does have the longest wait time, but
Oh yeah.
that could be because of the ride systems and loading times. But
It's
rest
up there.
assured, it's popular, and its popularity can wind up being your downfall if you're not careful. Flight of Passage is a 3D flight simulation experience inside Pandora World of Avatar. It's kind of like if Soarin' and Epcot and Tron Light Cycle Run had a baby. You sit on the back of a banshee
It's
in a
actually a good
similar way that
analogy.
you straddle
Wow.
the light cycle on Tron, but you'll be flying over expansive landscapes much like you do on Soarin', except instead of real places that you can visit in real life, Flight of Passage takes you into the mythical realm of Pandora, where you'll come face to face with fantasy creatures, bioluminescent caves, lots of good smells, splashes of water from those crashing waves, and tons of banshees, both good and not so good. Because of this ride's popularity, you're more than likely going to see it having the highest wait times in the park. Now, depending on who you talk to, the queue here is either gruesomely long or just flat out entertaining. After all, you do get to wind your way around the outdoor flora, Navi cave paintings, bioluminescent plant life, and a Pandora Conservation Initiative lab with a full-on avatar just chilling out in the gigantic space tube thing. So there really is always something to look at while you wait.
This ride right here, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 out of 10. This was the other ride that I was talking about. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Cosmic Rewind one, and then Flight of Passage. When we went on that, dude, long story short, they do what she said. It's more 4D. It's not 3D, it's 4D. So like you have like 3D glasses on and you're like in it and you're immersed in it and it's like a green screen and you're in that bitch. But you're in that bitch for real because they also pump smells at you and they're like getting you spritz of water with like certain shit that happens in the ride. I don't want to spoil it. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
The next one on our list is the Disney Skyliner. Whoops, are we cheating with this one? I don't think so, because if you've been on the Disney Skyliner, then you know how awesome this transportation service can really be. You might disagree with me on this, and if you do, that's okay. We can all have different opinions, but the Disney World Skyliner is totally a ride. And depending on your group, it might...
There were definitely other rides that could have took this spot. The Skyliner's cool. It's a cool ride. You kind of just hover slowly across Disney and shit. Definitely cool. Definitely go on it if you can. I'm not really gonna call it like a ride. Skyliner is definitely really cool. Very chill. It's a long, you're just kind of cruising along and chilling. So if you're in there with your like homies or something, you're just talking and like shooting the shit while hovering over Disney. It's definitely cool. It's definitely fun. Do that if you can, but for a top 10 to end with Skyliner is really like strange. It's a little bizarre to me. I don't know. I feel like Navi River should be on there. It's a fun ride. It's a little like log ride that you just coast along in the water and it's like playing a song from Avatar. It's in Pandora. So I recommend that one for sure. Millennium Falcon. I think it's called like Millennium Falcon Cargo Escort. Some shit like that. That one as well. I highly recommend that ride too. It's like a 3D one. It's like simulator type shit. Like you're in it and you're doing stuff on the wall and it's like interactive and stuff. Definitely cool. Love that one. Don't know how that one wasn't on there in place of Skyliner, but yeah, man, there was a whole fucking bunch of rides that were like insane. That definitely got like the bulk of the best ones in my opinion. But there are so many fun rides and like I can admit I would kind of make fun of people who are like Disney adults and then had all this shit and like they would get all decked out the way I am right now, but I fucking get it. That shit is so fun. I went and had the time of my life, literally best vacation I ever went on, like easily by far. It was so fun. I highly recommend anyone of any age to go unless you're like 80 because them old people in the lines and like in the parks walking around and on the scooters. I was about to kick so many fucking old people's ankles out. Like, bro, I was gonna ankle pick some old people. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please go down, like, subscribe, put the notification bell on. I'm back. I'm doing it for now until we go back to Disney. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, again, go down, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about the rides. All 6 of you. Glad to be back, although sad to be back because I really want to be back in Disney. Suck my dick.